We've got quite a mixed bag of titles to look at in this month's DVD Spotlight review. Actually, it's not too mixed. It's a bunch of genre pictures and then a classic movie collection. But I lump them all together anyway because it keeps things interesting. First up, we have Stonehenge Apocalypse. Don't ask me why I started with that one. Probably because it stars Misha Collins, who actually is currently on Stargate. Supernatural, one of my favorite shows of all time, and Tori Higginson, who used to be on Stargate Atlantis. So, of course, being that it's a sci-fi movie starring two people from shows that I love, I had to sit down and watch it. And the cover says, if you love 2012, you're going to have a blast with Stonehenge Apocalypse. This is not true. Stonehenge Apocalypse is nothing like 2012. It tries to be, but it has about maybe 1/1000th the budget of 2012. And as much as I enjoyed the performances by Misha Collins and Tori Higginson, although Tori Higginson's British accent is really bizarre. I don't know if it's fake or if she's actually British and forgot how to use it and was faking an American accent for Stargate, but I'm pretty sure it's fake and it's kind of terrible. And if it's not fake, she needs to stop doing it because it doesn't sound real anymore. It's actually kind of distracting. Stonehenge Apocalypse isn't a terrible movie. It's fine for what it is. It's a Sci-Fi Channel movie. If you like the Sci-Fi Channel and you like their movies, you will enjoy this end-of-the-world Stonehenge Apocalypse film in which Stonehenge, the actual Stonehenge, yes, sort of brings about the end of the world, or threatens to. If you don't like their movies, then there's nothing in this movie that you're going to like. It's cheesy, it's fun, it's goofy, it takes itself way too seriously, but at the end of the day, you should know exactly what you're getting into with it. Next up, we have the acclaimed Valhalla Rising, the film from Nicholas Winding Refn, excuse me if I butchered his name, and starring Mads Mikkelsen, who I like very much as an actor, in a dark and brutal tale of Viking vengeance and survival. Really, this movie is kind of like the Apocalypto of the Viking set. Nicholas Winding Refn has gotten a lot of acclaim for his films. He is a director with a certain visual style, shall we say, and he certainly knows how to make a film unlike anything else. And Valhalla Rising is an interesting movie. It's not a particularly enjoyable movie, though. It is, like I said, very brutal, very dark, very hard to watch, a lot of violence. And I don't shy away from violence, but this is a movie that sort of does that, has that aesthetic to it of that really just grimy, dirty, every cell of this film has been coated in grime and blood, and that's sort of a aesthetic that I don't necessarily get into. But if you like that kind of movie, it certainly is worth watching, I guess. I think a lot of people pick this up because of all the acclaim that Refn has gotten, and I think some people will absolutely love this film and claim it's a masterpiece, and other people will feel like me. It's very stark. There's hardly any music in it, and it's an interesting film experience. I can certainly say that. The only special feature on it is a trailer, and actually, I forgot to mention the special features on Stonehenge Apocalypse include a trailer and a behind-the-scenes featurette. So there you go. Next up, from Shout Factory, we have two Marvel Knights sort of animated, motion comic collections. These are the motion comics that were available originally on the Marvel Comics website, have now been collected onto DVD from Shout Factory, which I appreciate. I like very much that they do that. And they are Iron Man Extremis and Black Panther. Now, Iron Man Extremis, of course, is a natural choice. It's based on a Warren Ellis story. It set up a lot of the current comic book storylines that are in the hit Iron Man comic book, and of course Iron Man is very popular thanks to his live action movies, so I get why they did this one. The Black Panther, on the other hand, it's not as clear. I know that they're working on a Black Panther live action movie, and I think that's why they did this, was to try and get some interest in the character. It's okay. I didn't love the original comic book that the Black Panther, this particular series that this motion comic is based on, and I don't think it's any better necessarily as a motion comic, although Jamin Hansu as the Black Panther is good inspired casting, and he does a good job. But I've never been a huge Black Panther fan in general, and this doesn't really change my mind. I will say, however, in terms of content, the Black Panther does blow Iron Man out of the water, with Iron Man running about an hour and 20 minutes and Black Panther running over 2 hours. Both discs come with some good extra features. Iron Man comes with a conversation with the Extremis artist, Adi Granov. behind the scenes making of, a few more of the What the shorts, kind of comedy shorts that feature Iron Man, a visual history of Iron Man, which is pretty cool, a music video, and some trailers. Black Panther, not quite as packed, but still with some good extra features. A looking back at Black Panther feature with the writer Reginald Hudlin, who wrote the comic book that this motion comic is based on. Also a music video and some trailers on that one. Finally, we have the Rita Hayworth collection, or the Films of Rita Hayworth from Sony Columbia. Now, this is sort of an interesting box set. There's no real theme to this one, and not that there has to be for an actor collection, but it is a little bit schizophrenic. You have 2 films directed by King Vidor, and then you have 3 films directed by less notable directors. Of course, all the films star Rita Hayworth, but her co-stars range from Gene Kelly to Jose Ferrer to Charles Lawton, but there are no like super A-plus marquee co-stars within any of these films. You also have a musical and a film noir, and then 3 kind of more of your typical romantic dramas. So it's kind of a mixed bag. There's a varying level of qualities, varying level of co-stars, varying level of movie quality. The movies included are 1944's Cover Girl, 1945's Tonight and Every Night, 1946's Gilda, 1953's Miss Sadie Thompson, and also from 1953, Salome. So it kind of seems like at first it's like a collection of the mid-40s output of Rita Hayworth, but then it jumps ahead to the early 50s. So I don't know if these are just the films that Sony owned and wanted to collect, but that's what you get. It's certainly worth picking up if you're a diehard Rita Hayworth fan, but if you're just looking for some really great classic old movies that happen to star Rita Hayworth, this collection isn't necessarily that. There are no terrible films in the bunch, but none of the films are particularly great either. Save Gilda, which is probably the best one of the bunch. It's sort of the film noir movie, and it also stars Glenn Ford, who I happen to have a soft spot for. But it's a very nice 5-disc box set. It's packaged well. It looks great, and like I said, if you're a fan of Rita Hayworth, it's worth picking up. You do also get introductions by Martin Scorsese, Baz Luhrmann, and Patricia Clarkson. So those are always nice to see as well. So there you have it, an eclectic mix of DVDs in this month's DVD Spotlight.